The listening post sat on the edge of known space, a lonely station above a silent blue planet. Its job was simple: listen to the stars. Most days were quiet. For years, nothing unusual happened. That changed one night. Sam worked the main console, sipping cold tea. The screens showed the usual star noise, soft waves, radio chatter from deep space, nothing new. He yawned, ready to log another empty shift, when a sharp sound broke the silence. A long, high note filled the speakers, then cut off. Sam froze. What was that? He whispered to himself. The sound came again. This time longer. A rising tone, almost like music, but broken. Then numbers appeared on the screen, strange, uneven, repeating every few seconds. Sam's heart raced. He started recording. Station log, he said. Unknown signal detected. Pattern repeats every 12 minutes. The signal was unlike anything Sam had seen. It was not human. The code had structure, like language, but no known language matched it. Sam boosted the filters. Behind the main tone, he found layers of sound, fast pulses like heartbeats, and something like a voice but distorted and far away. He called his assistant, Myra. She ran in, half asleep, eyes wide when she saw the display. "This isn't from our side," Myra said. "Not even close," Sam replied. The station sent alerts to Earth. Experts joined the channel within the hour. Linguists, scientists, AI systems all focused on the strange signal. Data packets were pulled apart, tested, and scanned. Still, no one could tell who sent it. Then something new happened. The signal ended with a short phrase, 3 sounds, clear and sharp, like a warning. It came at the end of every repeat. Sam replayed it many times. "This part feels like words," he said. Myra nodded. "But not for us. This is not meant for humans." The phrase burned in his mind. He asked the AI to match tone patterns to human speech. The system gave a rough guess: "If you hear this, it is too late." Sam's skin went cold. Too late for what? Hours passed. The signal kept coming, each time with that same ending. Sam copied the entire sequence into a private file. He could not explain why, but he felt it was important. On Earth, the Science Council debated the signal. Some said it was a trap. Others said it was a distress call. A few believed it was a cultural message from a far world, never meant to be heard by human ears. Sam stayed on the console, watching the last waves of the signal fade. Then, without warning, it stopped. The screen went dark. Silence filled the station. No echo. No last tone. Just empty space again. Myra looked uneasy. "Do you think they'll figure out what it means?" Sam stared at the black screen. "They have to. If that message was what I think it was, someone out there is in trouble. Or maybe we are." Before they could talk more, a new alert flashed. The station sensors picked up a faint energy spike far beyond the system, like a ship moving fast. But it was gone before they could lock on. Sam logged the event and sat back. Something had changed in the quiet edge of space. Something big. He looked at Myra and said, "Whatever this is, it's not over." Far beyond the listening post, in the dark stretch between galaxies, a shadow moved. It drifted like smoke across the stars, silent and endless. And on a world neither Sam nor Myra had ever heard of, someone whispered the same words that ended the signal: "If you hear this, it is too late." The signal reached Earth before sunrise. Across the planet, the Science Council gathered in a secure hall under the capital city. Screens filled the walls, showing graphs, codes, and waveforms of the strange transmission. Dr. Helen Reed, head of the council, stood in the center, her face tense. "This is not a natural signal," she said. It carries meaning. We believe it's a message. Around her, experts whispered. Some were excited. Some looked afraid. Helen raised her hand. The message is not for us. That much is clear. But we cannot ignore it. Our AI has translated a small part. Listen. The room went quiet as the last phrase of the signal played. A deep, alien voice echoed through the speakers. The AI's voice followed. If you hear this, it is too late. The words struck like cold steel. People exchanged uneasy glances. One man spoke. Too late for who? Them or us? Helen nodded to her assistant. The lights dimmed. A map of the galaxy appeared, full of bright points. The message includes coordinates, she explained. They lead to this region. She pointed to a cluster near the galactic core. The data suggests something dangerous is there. A younger scientist, Jin, leaned forward. What about the rest of the message? Did we find more? Helen hesitated, then said, yes. The AI decoded fragments. Phrases like weapon seed, cycle of hunger, and shield will fall. The signal speaks of something called the swarm. The name hung heavy in the air. Another voice from the back asked, do we know who sent it? No, Helen said. But judging from the complexity, they are far beyond us. And if their warning is true, something terrible is moving through the galaxy. For a moment, silence ruled the room. Then voices rose, full of fear and ideas. Some wanted to hide the signal from the public. Others argued for open research. A few believed the signal was bait, a trap to draw humans into a war that was not theirs. Helen ended the debate with a firm tone. We cannot ignore this. If the sender feared this swarm, then so should we. We will prepare. Quietly. No public broadcast. While the council worked, Sam sat in his small cabin on the listening post, staring at the copy of the signal on his console. He felt restless. The words, the sound, the strange rhythm, it all echoed in his mind. He had seen the small spike in energy after the signal stopped. No one on Earth had asked about it. To them, it was too small to matter. But Sam had a bad feeling. Myra entered the room with 2 mugs of coffee. They say the council is working on it, she said. Sam nodded slowly. Working, yes. But do they understand? Whoever sent that message was scared. They were desperate. Maybe it was a warning for their own kind, Myra suggested. Sam leaned back. Then why could we hear it? Why was it not shielded? Unless, he paused, thinking hard. Unless they wanted someone else to hear it too. Myra frowned. You think they wanted us to? I don't know, Sam admitted. But the words keep bothering me. If you hear this, it is too late. Too late for what? A war? A disaster? Something coming here. Before Myra could answer, the station alarm beeped. A new transmission was coming through. Sam jumped to the console. For a second, his heart pounded. Was the signal back? But no. This was different. It was a simple, narrowband ping. Not human. Not like the first message either. Just a single pulse and a line of strange symbols. Sam recorded it and ran a quick scan. The symbols were coordinates but not the same as before. These pointed to the edge of human space, far from the core. Someone is moving, Sam said softly. And they want us to know. He sent the data to Earth with high priority. Minutes later, a reply came, do not engage. Continue monitoring. Stay silent. Sam stared at the message, his jaw tight. Stay silent, he repeated. That's the plan? When something out there knows we exist. Myra looked at him with worry. What do you think is going on? Sam turned to the window, staring at the endless dark. I think the galaxy just became a lot smaller. And we are not ready for what's coming. Far away, beyond the map of known stars, a vast fleet drifted in the shadows. It moved like a living storm, countless black shapes linked by streams of pale light. And deep inside the storm, a single mind whispered across the void, carrying one clear thought: new voices detected. Add them to the cycle. 3 weeks passed since the strange signal. Earth stayed quiet, but inside secret bases and labs, scientists worked without rest. The decoded fragments told a story no one wanted to believe, a story of a great hunger moving through the stars. They called it the Swarm. Ships patrolled the edge of human space. Stations scanned the dark for any trace of unknown activity. Still, no one expected what came next. On a cold morning, Sam stood in the observation deck of the listening post, sipping his drink, when the alarm roared. The screen flashed red. A massive object had entered the system. Myra! Sam shouted. She ran to the console, eyes wide. What is it? The sensors struggled to measure the size. The object was bigger than any human ship, maybe bigger than a station. It moved slow, like a whale in deep water. Sam opened the comms. Control, this is Post 7. We have an unknown vessel in our sector. Non-human signature. Repeat, non-human. The voice from Earth crackled back. Stay calm. Do not engage. We are sending ships. Sam's heart raced as the object drew closer. Soon, the cameras showed its shape, a silver arc, glowing with blue veins, like a living creature made of metal. It had no engines, no wings, no windows, but it moved with silent power. Then, a voice filled the comms. Deep, calm, and sharp. Not human. This territory is not yours, the voice said. Sam froze. Myra whispered, it speaks our language. The AI confirmed, yes, it was translating itself. The voice came again. You heard the signal. How? Sam swallowed. This is human listening post. We detected a transmission. Who are you? There was a pause. Then the voice said, we are Virine. The signal was not for you. Your species should not be here. Sam tried to stay calm. We didn't mean to interfere. We only listened. Another pause. Then the Virine spoke, sharper this time. You heard what was never yours. Now you carry the burden. Sam looked at Myra. Her face was pale. What does that mean? She whispered. Before he could ask, the Virine ship appeared on the main screen, drifting close like a silent giant. Its surface shifted like flowing metal. Panels opened, and beams of light scanned the station. Earth broke in on the channel. Post 7, stand by. A fleet is on its way. Do not provoke them. Sam kept his voice steady. Virine ship, what is the swarm? The reply came slow, almost like a growl. The end. A hunger that does not stop. It eats worlds, suns, life, and mind. It comes for the core. And now it knows you exist. Sam felt the air grow heavy. Myra whispered, they know we exist. The Virine voice continued. We fight the swarm. We bleed for the stars. But the cycle never ends. Now your spark burns in the dark. It will see you. It will come. Before Sam could respond, another alarm screamed. Myra checked the screen and gasped. Something else is here. The radar showed a second object, fast, sharp, and moving like a blade of light. It was smaller than the Virine ship, but its energy readings were strange, shifting like a storm. The Virine ship reacted instantly. Panels slid open, and bright weapons came alive. The calm voice turned fierce. You brought them here. Sam shouted back, we didn't. The new object darted close. The cameras caught its shape, black, insect-like, with limbs that shimmered as if made of glass. It latched onto the Virine hull, cutting through metal like paper. The swarm, Myra breathed. Sam watched in horror as more shapes appeared, dozens, then hundreds, swarming the giant Virine ship like ants on a beast. The Virine fought back with bright arcs of energy, burning some to dust, but more kept coming. Sam opened the COMM. Earth, we need help. This is a full attack. Static answered. The signal was gone. The Virine voice came one last time, heavy with rage and despair. Human, run. Hide your worlds. The cycle has found you. Then the channel went dead. Sam saw the Virine ship break apart under the storm of black creatures. Its bright veins went dark. Pieces drifted in silence as the swarm turned slowly, like a predator finding new prey, toward the human station. Myra grabbed his arm. What do we do? Sam stared at the console, his hands cold. We survive, he said. Somehow. Outside, the swarm pulsed like a living night, spreading its wings across the stars. The swarm came like a dark wave across the stars. Hundreds of black shapes moved in silence, folding and unfolding as if they were alive. The listening post was small, fragile, and had no weapons to fight something like this. Inside the station, alarms screamed. Lights flashed red. Sam ran from the window to the control deck. Myra followed, her face pale. Power shields now. Sam shouted. The thin energy shield wrapped around the station, glowing faint blue. It was all they had. Sam knew it would not last long. One of the black shapes broke from the swarm and rushed forward. It struck the shield with a sharp, white flash. The entire station shook. Sam gripped the console, teeth tight. Damage, he called out. Shields at 70%, Myra answered, fingers flying over the controls. One more hit like that, and before she finished, another shape slammed into the shield. Sparks flew from the ceiling. The deck tilted, and the lights flickered. Sam opened the emergency channel. Earth Command, this is Post 7. We are under attack. Enemy confirmed non-human, multiple targets. Repeat, we need help now. Only Static answered. The signal was dead. Sam felt cold in his chest. They are jamming us, he said. Myra looked at him. What do we do? Sam stared at the swarm outside the glass. The black shapes moved like a school of predators, circling, waiting to strike. We buy time, he said. He opened the internal COMM. All crew, prepare escape pods. Do not wait for orders. Move fast. The crew obeyed. Boots pounded the metal floor as people ran for the escape bay. Sam stayed at the console, eyes locked on the enemy. One of the black shapes broke open like a flower. Thin limbs spread out, glowing with a cold, green light. Then a beam shot from its core and struck the shield. The blue glow cracked like glass. Shields at 20%. Myra shouted. Sam cursed under his breath. Not enough time. Another beam hit. The shield shattered. The next moment, the black shapes swarmed the station. They did not explode it. They cut it apart, piece by piece, with perfect control. Go. Sam grabbed Myra's arm and pulled her toward the escape bay. Metal groaned around them as walls split and panels fell. Sparks lit the dark corridors. They reached the bay. Half the pods were gone. Crew voices called out in fear as they launched into space. Sam shoved Myra into a pod and climbed in after her. He slammed the hatch and hit the release. The pod blasted away, spinning as the station broke behind them. Sam strapped in and tried to steady his breath. Through the small window, he saw the swarm tear the listening post into dust. The glowing veins of the Virine wreck drifted nearby, still burning. Do you think anyone else made it out? Myra whispered. Some, Sam said. Not enough. The pod's engine pushed them into the dark. Sam tapped the console, searching for any signal. Nothing. Then, a new warning blinked. Something was following. Myra saw it too. They're coming for us. Sam checked the scanner. Two black shapes, moving fast. The pod had no weapons. It was built to run, not fight. Sam thought hard. Then he opened the manual override and killed the engine. The pod went dark, floating like a dead rock. Myra grabbed his arm. "What are you doing?" "Playing dead," Sam said. "If they think we are gone, maybe they will leave." The two shapes drew close. Through the window, Sam saw their surfaces ripple like liquid. They circled the pod, scanning. One pressed a limb against the hull, and a soft hum filled the air. Myra held her breath. Sam stared at the green glow moving over the pod walls. Seconds felt like years. Then, without warning, both shapes pulled away and flew back toward the swarm. The hum stopped. Silence filled the pod. Myra let out a shaky breath. It worked. Sam didn't answer right away. He was looking at the scanner. The swarm was not attacking them anymore, but it was moving again. This time, toward human space. "They're heading for the colonies," Sam said quietly. "We need to warn Earth." "How?" Myra asked. "They blocked everything." Sam's eyes narrowed. "Then we do it the old way." He powered the engine again and set a course for the nearest relay station, a small hub 2 days away. The pod shuddered as it moved through the dark. Behind them, the swarm spread wider, like a shadow swallowing stars. Sam and Myra reached the small relay station after 2 days of silent travel. The pod shuddered as it docked. The station was old, dusty, and nearly empty. Most of its crew had been reassigned. Sam hurried to the comm room, Myra close behind. He activated the long-range transmitter, sending a secure signal to Earth Command. The reply came within minutes, tense and urgent. "Post 7 survivors, report. What is your status?" Sam explained everything: the swarm, the destroyed listening post, and the attack on the colonies. Myra added details about the swarm's movement and the strange black shapes. A silence followed. Then the voice replied, "We feared the worst. Your report confirms it. The council is meeting. You must hold your position and wait." Sam clenched his fists. "Wait? They are moving toward human worlds. We cannot wait." Myra nodded. "We have to do something. We cannot just hide." Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Science Council and military leaders gathered in a secure chamber. Screens showed the swarm advancing across human space. The Vereen transmission, though brief, had warned that conventional weapons would fail. Dr. Helen Reed stood in the center. "We cannot face this head-on," she said. "The swarm adapts too quickly. Our fleets will not survive." A young officer spoke. "Then what can we do?" "Retreat and hide." Helen shook her head. "No. We strike at the source. The swarm has a core near the galactic center. If we destroy it, the swarm may collapse." Sam's voice came through the secure line. "That is too far. Our ships cannot reach it. And we cannot carry enough weapons to destroy it conventionally." An older scientist, Dr. Wren, looked at Helen. "Perhaps, we can use their own systems against them. If we study the swarm, hack into their network, maybe we can turn it back on itself." Helen frowned. "It is risky. But it may be the only chance." Sam and Myra listened. "We can try," Sam said. "We know how they move. We can improvise." "Improvise?" Helen asked sharply. "Yes," Sam replied. "The Vereen fight with strict patterns. They cannot change quickly. We can use speed, distraction, and decoys. We can confuse the swarm long enough to reach the core." Myra spoke. It sounds crazy. But, it might work. Helen studied the map. The core was surrounded by black matter, dangerous gravitational zones, and countless swarm ships. You would need a small team, fast ships, and modified technology. Do you understand the risk? Sam nodded. We do. We do not have a choice. Preparations began immediately. Small human ships were pulled from research stations. Engineers worked day and night to modify them, adding special shields and hacking modules. Sam and Myra trained with the limited crew, practicing evasive maneuvers and synchronized attacks. The plan was simple in theory but dangerous in practice. They would enter the swarm's territory in small groups. Using decoys and fast strikes, they would confuse the swarm long enough to send a hacking virus to the core. The virus would be uploaded directly by someone connected to the ship, someone who could guide it safely through the swarm network. Sam looked at Myra. That means one of us will have to link directly to the swarm. It is very risky. Myra did not hesitate. Then it will be me. You guide me through the ships. We can do this together. Sam's stomach tightened. No. If something happens to you, I am ready, she said firmly. We have no other choice. If the swarm reaches Earth, billions will die. We cannot wait for someone else to act. Helen finally spoke. Then it is decided. Humans will lead the strike. Small, fast, and unpredictable. Marine fleets will support from the outside, but the core mission is yours. Sam and Myra left the council chamber with the full weight of responsibility pressing down on them. They studied the maps and coordinates, memorizing every movement and every hazard. Outside, the swarm moved closer, its shadow stretching across human space. The clock was ticking. Every second brought the predators nearer. Sam looked at Myra. It is impossible, but we have to try. Myra nodded. We are humans. We survive, we adapt, and we fight. This is what we do. For the first time, Sam smiled faintly. Against the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known, humans were ready to act. They would not hide. They would not wait. They would fight, with courage and with every skill they had. And somewhere in the darkness, the swarm continued to spread, unaware that its first real challenge had begun. The human fleet moved silently through space, guided by the maps Sam and Myra had memorized. The ships were small, fast, and packed with modified technology. Their engines glowed faintly, cutting through the darkness as they approached the edge of the swarm's territory. Sam sat in the pilot seat of his ship, eyes fixed on the instruments. Myra was at the hacking console, hands steady but tense. Around them, other human pilots communicated in short bursts, their voices calm but full of focus. Approaching the first swarm cluster, Sam said, "Get ready for evasive maneuvers." The black shapes appeared suddenly, flowing like liquid over the void. Thousands of them moved with terrifying precision. They were organized, yet Sam noticed small delays and gaps in their movement. Just like we studied, he whispered. They cannot adapt quickly. The fleet split into small groups, weaving through the swarm. Bright decoy signals flashed, drawing attention from the black shapes. The swarm attacked the decoys relentlessly, leaving the real ships to pass almost unseen. Myra focused on her console. I'm preparing the virus. Once we reach the core, I will upload it directly. Sam glanced at her. Are you sure you can handle it? Myra nodded. I have to. If we fail, everything dies. As they moved deeper, the swarm reacted faster. Ships exploded in bright flashes as black shapes sliced through defenses. Sam guided their pod with precision, dodging and spinning around obstacles, feeling the pull of gravity and the threat of every attack. Suddenly, a massive black form blocked their path. It pulsed with green light and stretched wider than their scanners could read. Prepare for collision. Sam shouted. The pod twisted sharply. Myra hit the booster thrusters, sending them upward. The black shape lunged, grazing the hull, and sparks flew. Alarms screamed, but the ship held together. Too close, Sam muttered. We cannot take another hit like that. Myra pressed buttons rapidly. Virus ready in 10 seconds. The fleet moved as one, reaching the cluster of cores at the galactic center. The swarm was thick here, moving like a storm with endless black shapes. Sam took a deep breath. Hold steady, he said. Myra, now. Myra activated the virus. A stream of energy flowed from her console into the network of the swarm. She felt it in her mind as the interface connected directly. The swarm resisted, pulses of dark energy striking back, but the virus pushed through. Sam kept the pod steady, dodging attacks while Myra guided the virus. They saw other ships fighting nearby, human pilots risking everything to protect the small fleet. Sparks of light exploded across the darkness as ships and black shapes collided. Almost there, Myra whispered. 5% to core. A massive shape surged forward, attempting to block the virus. Sam twisted the pod sharply, dodging a green beam that could have destroyed them. Myra gritted her teeth, focusing on the upload. The core began to pulse, reacting to the virus. Green energy faded to red, then to black. The black shapes hesitated, confused by the new signals disrupting their coordination. Core destabilizing, Myra said. We did it. Sam exhaled. Get ready to retreat. It will not hold for long. The swarm panicked, shapes moving erratically as the virus spread. The human fleet seized the chance, attacking in precise strikes to break through the remaining formations. Explosions lit the dark space like fireflies in a storm. Myra's console warned of a final pulse racing toward them. She shouted, "It's too late for a clean escape." Sam acted quickly, launching boosters and weaving through the remaining swarm. The pulse hit, shaking the pod violently. Systems flickered, but the hull held. Behind them, the core collapsed. Energy erupted, sending waves across space. The swarm was destroyed, its network broken. Silence followed. Myra slumped back, exhausted but alive. We did it, she whispered. Sam smiled faintly, looking at the stars. For now. But the galaxy is wide, and threats may return. The human fleet regrouped, battered but victorious. They had faced the impossible and survived, showing courage and ingenuity that no one had expected. As they moved toward safer space, a small, faint pulse appeared far away, deep in the remnants of the swarm. A whisper of movement that suggested something had survived. Sam frowned. Adaptation logged, Myra said quietly. The cycle may not be over. Sam nodded. Then we must be ready. Humans survive. We fight. And we learn. The fleet continued through the stars, carrying hope and the knowledge that even in the darkest reaches, human courage could shine bright. The galaxy was quiet. For the first time in months, humans could breathe without alarms screaming through the control rooms. The swarm was broken, its black shapes scattered and lifeless. Sam and Myra sat in the command pod, exhausted but alive. Is it really over? Myra asked, staring at the dark expanse beyond the viewport. Sam shook his head slowly. For now. But we cannot forget. Something survived, somewhere in the remnants. The swarm is gone, but the threat may return. The fleet moved toward Earth, battered but triumphant. Messages were sent to the colonies. Relief and hope spread quickly. Human worlds had been saved. Yet the cost was clear. Many ships had been lost, and countless crews had given everything. When they arrived near Earth, the Science Council and military leaders were waiting. The humans had proven themselves capable of something no one had expected. They had not only survived but had acted with courage and intelligence. Dr. Helen Reed stepped forward. You have done what we thought impossible. You faced the swarm and survived. Humanity has earned its place in the galaxy, not as observers, but as protectors. Sam nodded. We acted because we had to. Because no one else could. The Virene warned us, but they could not adapt as we did. Humans improvise, and we fight when the odds are against us. Myra added, we learned from them, and we used what we knew. That is why we survived. That is why we succeeded. A council member frowned. But you must understand. Your actions have consequences. The galaxy will know that humans exist and can act. Not all species will be pleased. Sam looked at the stars. Let them be. We cannot hide anymore. We will defend ourselves and others when we must. That is what it means to survive. The Virene arrived soon after. Their ships were damaged, but Karan, their leader, spoke with a calm respect. Humans, Karan said. You surprised us. Your courage and adaptability saved the galaxy. You acted where we could not. You have the spark that we lacked. Sam bowed slightly. We were not meant to hear the message, but we did. And we acted. That is all any species can do, act when the moment comes. Karen nodded. The Galactic Alliance will recognize your deeds. You are no longer primitive sparks. You are guardians now. Celebrations began across human space. Survivors hugged, laughed, and cried. The ships were repaired, and lessons were recorded. Humans had faced an impossible enemy and shown that creativity, courage, and determination could overcome even the deadliest threats. Yet even in victory, Sam could not relax. He remembered the faint pulse Myra had seen deep in the swarm's remnants. Something had survived, perhaps hiding, adapting. The galaxy would never be truly safe. He looked at Myra. We did it. We saved countless lives. But we must stay vigilant. The next threat may come without warning. Myra nodded, placing a hand on his shoulder. Humans are ready. We fight, we learn, and we survive. That is who we are. Sam smiled faintly. Then let the galaxy watch. We are humans, and we will rise to any challenge. In the ruins of the swarm, far beyond the reach of human eyes, a small fragment stirred. Energy flowed through its core, reorganizing, adapting. A quiet hum echoed in the dark void, carrying a simple truth: adaptation logged. The cycle would resume. Back on Earth, the Council looked at the stars, realizing that humanity had changed the balance. No longer were humans observers. They were a force that could alter the fate of the galaxy. Sam and Myra watched the stars from their ship. They had faced the impossible and survived. They had turned a warning meant for others into a victory that no one had expected. And somewhere, deep in the galaxy, new dangers waited. But humans were ready.